Hi YouTube. A trip down some of the narrower lanes in Cornwall and places like Cornwall can often result in side panel damage from hedgerows. Hedgerow rash, as it's commonly known, and I'm hoping you can see these scratches in the windows there. We've picked up some damage on previous trips to Cornwall and places like that. This time we found ourselves on the wrong back roads approaching Tintagel and had to suffer the agonising sound, like nails down a blackboard, of hedge branches scraping down the sides of the vehicle. So I don't know if you're picking all these up, but it's just very faint marks down, but the windows are the worst. Just surface marks really. And they're down both sides. All is not lost, however. In this video I'll show you how to get rid of this surface damage on the windows and the bodywork. The windows are showing surface scratches. You can see those there. You can't actually feel these with your finger. But some of them, this is a scratch off a fence post. You can actually feel that with your finger. The surface scratches, which you can't feel with your fingernail, but this was off a pub gate post, and you can actually feel those. Those are actually deep scratches. So I'm going to tackle the work in two stages. The windows, the plastic windows, the glass windows are okay, they don't get scratched really. And the bodywork. So you can see this leading edge here, and you can see these surface marks here. So the windows, these will be done in three stages. Washing, I've already given it a good wash. The deep scratches, which I've shown you on this back window there, and the surface scratches. For this work, I'm going to define a scratch as something you can feel with your fingernail. So, apart from the deep scratches, we're mainly dealing with superficial surface marks, i.e. they look worse than they are. So for the window renovation, I'm using this auto glim kit I got from Halford's, headlight restoration kit. So this is the auto glim kit unboxed. So you get an attachment for a battery driven drill with Velcro on it, different grades of sandpaper which just stick to the Velcro, ranging from 800 up to 3000, finishing compound with a Velcro buffing pad, instructions, and a microfiber cloth for finishing. So I'm going to make a start on the deepest scratch on this window. So I fitted the 800 grit to the sanding pad there. I'm going to start on the centre of that and work outwards and gradually finish off with the finest sandpaper for the rest of the surface scratches. So after a minute of sanding with this 800 grit, it makes quite short work of it. The deep scratches, you see it's all gone milky there. Just keep working it round. I'm going to change grit now and gradually work over the whole window. One word of warning, don't lay on too hard for too long, because otherwise you build up heat and you might distort the plastic window. So a couple of minutes going over it with the 2000 grit pad and spraying a little bit of water on it, keeping it damp, has resulted in the nasty scratch in the middle disappearing and all the surface scratches pretty well laid back there. The window's got a milky appearance, so I'm just going to finish it off with the fine grit and the finishing compound. So that's the window completed now. 10 minutes tops, even with that deep scratch in the middle, which is all gone. It's come up just like new. It's a great kit. So this is the same window from the inside. You can see it's crystal clear there. Brilliant. You wouldn't think the scratches would come out so easily. Well, calling them scratches. The centre one was a scratch, the rest were kind of surface marks. If you're not happy with the finish, just repeat the latter stages with the fine paper and the finishing compound, and I think you'll be pleased. For the rest of the windows that just have the surface scratches in, I'm going to use this 3000 grit abrader, and you can see there that if I just rub without it being on the machine, it actually takes the scratches out. So I'm just going to use this and the finishing compound on the buffer to do the rest of the windows. I've just spent 5 minutes on this window with the 3000 grit and the buffing compound on the drill there, and literally it's come up like new. I'm going to finish all the windows off with autoglym fast glass, just to remove any residue from the cleaning compounds from the plastic windows. So I'm going to give them all a final going over with this. The next stage of this is to tackle the surface marks down the side of the motorhome. So you see all these little fine scratches. Can't feel them at all with my fingernail. And this process will be done in 3 stages. Washing, surface preparation, and then polish stroke scratch remover, just to finish off down the side. So this silky, I'm going to go over this. I've already washed it, so I'm going to put some of this silky on now, which removes all the dirt. And then finally this autoglym super resin polish, which can remove very fine scratches. So I've done it over this side with the silky, just with a hand mop. This process would be a lot easier if you had a dual action polisher. So the silky's toned the surface marks down a bit, but you can still see them, still visible. So next job is to go over with the super resin polish. Just a word on the construction of this motorhome. This is typical coach built caravan body construction, and the front assembly here is fiberglass, and the side panels are a sandwich construction, finished off. The outer surface is aluminium. These trims are ABS plastic, as is the rear moulding. The Articlim polish has done quite a good job, but I don't know whether they're showing up on the video. There's still a few surface scratches which I need to get rid of. So rather than, it's a hot day, and rather than labouring with the resin polish, I'm going to use some G3 compound just to get the final marks out, and then finish it off with the resin polish. So I've done the front section now, and this joint trim with the G3. It's done a pretty good job. So I'm just going to go over it now with the super resin polish and see what the final thing looks like. This front section now, apply the G3 compound, give it a rub for 5 minutes, and then let it dry and wiped off. And then I've applied some polish, and 99% of the surface marks are gone. I'm quite pleased with the result. Just got to do the rest of the motorhome now.